In this video, I want to respond to all this hate against Fallout 76 on PC. Welcome to Streaming Deluxe, my name is Mr. Orange. I think Fallout 76 is quite okay for a Fallout game. It is for sure not as immersive as Fallout 4 VR, but also not that worse than Fallout 4 people. The world is huge, a lot of enemies, and the graphics with some tweaks. You can, for example, turn off blur in the annoying depth of field is possible. So what is the main issue here with Fallout? Okay, I haven't really experienced a lot of multiplayer for now. Only sometimes I see another player, and mostly there's no engagement with this player at all. I'm honest here. On the other hand, I like that I do not get slaughtered the moment I see a group of other players, like another survival online games, and maybe I just don't want to play with others. So there are no NPCs, so this has definitely been not the best design decision from my perspective, but I would say there's still enough text and storyline to follow if you're interested in reading it all. Yes, I get this point. It is negative, and the design decision is something I don't agree was good to take. I enjoyed now my last 5 hours of gameplay yesterday, and it feels definitely like a Fallout, I can assure you. And it is a much better online experience for me personally than Skyrim Online. So yeah, what is the issue? People are just angry. Do they think that a multiplayer game could be also a solo game? We are just not there yet when it comes to gaming. You cannot compare a Fallout 4 with a Fallout 76. So in my personal opinion, Fallout 76 is overall a decent representative of the series, and for the entry ticket that you have to pay to get into this game, you really get a lot of Fallout content, and honestly more content than you can play in months. So in my personal opinion, give this game a chance, and people don't join the hate train. So Welcome my friends, this is my opening statement to all this hate on Fallout 76 that we've seen. And I'm here on the page of Metacritics, and you can see the user score with an overall rating of 2063 ratings is 3.0, which is extremely low. So if this game would now come out for, let's say, for Steam, then we would have seen all of these negative reviews on Steam. Since the Bethesda brought it on the Bethesda launcher, it is a bit more difficult to find the negativity, so it all plays around on Twitter or on Facebook and on Metacritic. So here is where people can write a review. I like the game. I don't write a review, so mostly people write reviews who hate the game. This first of all. So let's check. I think in this video I really want to go a little bit into some of those reviews and find out what is the real issue that a lot of other gamers have, because I'm very interested in it. So because I don't share this opinion that it's like a like 3.0, guys. It still feels like a Fallout game. Alright my friends, so let's jump into it. So we see positive 258 for now, mixed 47 and negative 646. And if we pick out, for example, from Feroxios, the first positive, we see I'm playing Fallout series, so he got a lot, so he got 78 of 443 users found this helpful, and most people don't think it's helpful because he gives it a positive review, and therefore they're giving him a thumbs down, so they make his review negative. So, but of course, let's check into it. Maybe it's also a bit weird. He has too many smileys. I'm playing Fallout games. I guess this game is something different that we have seen in the previous Fallout games, but the game is still good. Story, investigation, quests are interesting, and you will find yourself here playing solo as well. World is beautiful, huge bugs, almost. Okay, it's a terrible review. Next, my friends, let's jump and see for example one of those negative reviews. 9 out of 10 users found, for example, Kitten Pants review good, so he gives it 1 point. I mean, that's an overall extreme decision to take to give a game, let's be honest guys, give a game 1 point. I mean, I played it already so much that I got my money out of it, so played also in the beta. So what is he writing? So most of the fun of previous Fallout games centered around the wacky dialogue and behavior of the NPCs. I don't agree. And the ridiculous ways they interact with each other. From the absurd requests to the hilarious and often total misguided conflicts with each other, I could usually overlook the dreadful game mechanics and technical workings of the game because the NPCs were so thoroughly amusing. Okay, he is. It seems that he doesn't like that there are no NPCs. I understand that this design decision is not the best because it takes a bit the life out of the game. That's for sure. But on the other hand, it's not that I always thought that the NPCs are now the center of the game. So for me, it was always the world. For Fallout 76, it seemed that Bethesda has stripped away the aspect of the game that made it worthwhile and lazily left in everything that made it so frustrating and broken. Even most of the bugs and broken mechanics that were in Fallout 4 initially are still there, along with a slew of new issues. The game just feels like garbage to play. I mean, come on, feels like garbage to play. It's a troll comment. That's a troll comment, my friend. And it looks like a total mess. It looks not the best, but the moment you turn off Blur and Devil Field, it looks a bit better. But it doesn't look like Red Dead Redemption or other games. Yes, I agree. But not a mess. I'm glad I played this game on a friend's machine instead of purchasing it myself, and I feel bad for all of the people who foolishly pre-purchased it at full price with even more milking thumb through microtransaction and future DLCs. He has some points, but I personally think those points are not worth giving this game 1 point. So Antrix, so garbage in a box happens when the developers focus on money instead of what the players want. This is a mighty fine example of steamy one. He doesn't understand how the business works. Since all those people working on this game also want to be played. Yes, they want. So Frank writes, I like Bethesda. Oblivion is my favorite game and I'm biased toward it, but still I'm not against Bethesda just because not a hater at all. Fallout 76, that's okay to write this. So Fallout 76 is Fallout without interesting or compelling quests, no NPCs, only quest giver computers or robots. The game is hollow, no main story. I totally understand this point, so I think I don't read all of the storyline that you, and I also don't like that there's missing a real storyline and not the NPCs. But it's not worth to give it 0 points. All you can do is killing enemies and building a base, no jokes, that's literally everything you can do. Oh, and following quest markers that end with killing a horde of standard repetitive enemies or retrieving some tech. Playing solo is honestly depressing because it's literally like playing a MMORPG alone with no life in the world. Human interaction is nuanced, is fun and in the first 30 minutes and then completely ruin the immersion because you fast realize there's no purpose in the game whatsoever, and you will find many players just laughing or screaming, making noise in voice chat, no push to talk. Yeah, they have to implement the push to talk. I mean, that's a basic. So no PvP because the only thing you can do is shoot to an enemy, dealing 1% of damage, and by doing this you send a duel invitation. PvP is literally just duels. There isn't a sense of surviving or constant threat that any other survival online can give you because you can be killed by anyone if you don't want to, and vice versa. Do not buy this crap here. That's an interesting point with the PvP. I like the base building. I like fighting against enemy. I like the co-op aspect. And the PvP, yeah, it gives you the constant thrill and the fear that something might happen, that someone comes and raids you. I remember the first time I was playing Rust when it came out, the early version. I was playing like 50 hours in a row, and I was so thrilled by it, and I was so afraid always when I went out of my base to collect some items that someone would kill me and then all my stuff would disappear. But at one point I stopped playing for this reason, and therefore I think it's in Fallout it's good that I'm not losing all of my equipment and my items when I get killed. And PvP is good. Let's say PvP is good for people that come always in a big mob and then they kill kill solo players. So then the solo experience would not be that good if it would be a PvP, if it would be a pure PvP game. So therefore, I think it's the first interesting design decision they took. But on the other hand, we all have to see where this is going. I mean, it's an online game, and I'm sure this might be adjusted by Bethesda. On the other hand, Bethesda is not really known to modify any bugs or iron out bugs in their games in general. So we have to wait for this. So, but I think there's some design choices you can revoke and make them build them a bit differently. So Dibby Leg writes, I can't believe I was ever excited for this game. It's boring as hell, lacking any kind of meaningful content, and it's even lacking a good Metacritic score. Alright, good to... So yeah, that's the negative user reviews. Maybe we also... Let's check what they write here. Fallout premise may have a lot of sense of paper, so Softpedia writes, gives it 60. As many people love surviving with friends in a huge world, but in practice it has a lot of things that keep it from reaching greatness. From the sparse open world with too few players, to the non-engaging story, to actual clunky multiplayer, both corporate and competitive. Fallout 76 is a bold experiment with one of gaming's biggest and most beloved franchises. Unfortunately, the experiment seems like a failure so far. Bugs and glitches are everywhere, but worth it has is that the core principles of design just don't function the way they seem like they should. It's good that it's still good that the critics reviews, not the critic reviews, still a bit more nuanced, and they highlight some issues of the game mechanics, of the gameplay at the moment. So yes, there is some spots you have to improve. And let's check what GameSpot writes. I mean, they're really huge representative of the industry. So GameSpot writes, I'll continue to play the game with the intention of finishing the campaign, a good portion of the side quest, and getting involved in end game content. That's actually exactly this what I want to do in this game. Then he writes, this review will be updated and finalized when all that happens, but at the early stage I feel like the only reason I'm enjoying the game as much as I am is because of an existent fondness for the Fallout series, not because of anything that can be distinctly attributed to Fallout 76. That's interesting. Do we only like Fallout 76 because we love Fallout? So because we played Fallout Shelter, a mobile game, for 100 hours, because we buy a Fallout 4 VR immediately it comes out, and it's our favorite VR game. So, or because Fallout 4 we modded the hell out of it. So that's very interesting. So IGN writes, I've just hit level 25, so I personally, just for the record here, I'm at the moment level 21, I think. So I just hit level 25 and I'm still discovering new enemies, monsters, creatures and nightmares I've never seen in a Fallout game, which is great because I was concerned that Fallout 76 was going to be an easy list of cores and places to see. Yes, I agree with this. Very much true. Guys, let's jump into the negativity again. I mean, that's very important. Therefore, we wanna see what all this negativity, where it comes from. So, Modern 99, let's pick him out. This game is unfinished. I'm not sure if some of the positive reviews are chills or just delusional fanboys. The endless fetch quests will put you right to sleep. The T-posting enemies will break any chance of immersion you hope to have. The beta was more of a soft launch to try and distract boys from the fact that this game is a buggy, unfinished mess. That's interesting. Yeah, I think the beta was weirdly a launch. It felt for me like a launch, but I really liked playing it, and I was not stopping to play it. So I was really using my beta time. So if this game was on Steam, it would be a mass refunded. So yeah, someone said, yeah, this game came out on Bethesda launcher because they're not making any Steam refunds. So people could not make a refund, obviously, because mostly people would have played over 2 hours. So Joe Panguini writes, as a lover of the franchise, I had to create an account here on Metacritic just to write the following lines. Okay, beware yourself, guys. So let's. Bethesda doesn't care for its customers at all. I tried so hard to defend this game and give the installment a chance, but after playing a few hours after release and getting bored as hell, I had to ask for a refund just to find out they won't give your money back after the release date of the game. This is the last time I buy a game as a pre-order. Yeah, you should never pre-order if you're really uncomfortable with it. And probably the last time I ever buy a Bethesda game. No, it's not, my friend. You're going to continue to buy Bethesda games. Relax. What is Fallout without the factions fighting for power, heartbreaking stories and awesome companions? Ah yeah, the companions are missing. He has a point there. And yeah, the factions fighting for power, yeah, that's the multiplayers now. The game's strongest points, its combat system unresponsive and laggy. Melee build is just impossible or not worthy. God forgive me for paying this sick joke over Fallout. For multiplayer, not the price of a full retail game. Customers, speak with your wallets. He had some points. The faction system and the followers are indeed missing. Smiladon142 writes, I'll give 3 points. So finally, not 0 points. That's good. So I've played every Bethesda game and every Fallout game. After 30 hours of gameplay, I can say this game is worth $60. Isn't worth $60. Sorry. The story is limited to notes and recording in a medium that lets the player do instead of tell them what happened. Normally, that kind of storytelling is an optional addition to the game experience. I agree here because I don't really like reading all of the stuff myself, so I would also like having a bit more storytelling aspect of it. Fallout 76 and Fallout 4 both have lore that goes against established canon. Retconning those previous games is disrespectful to the writers and developers of past game. Yeah, well, keep it chill, my friend. The PC edition launch without a number of options typically found in $60 AAA games. From the options menu, you cannot turn off Death of Fear, Bloom, God Rays, Bloom, change the anti-aliasing settings or set an ultra wide screen resolution. He absolutely is correct here. The strange thing in this game does support all those settings if you change them from the configuration ini files. However, the normal users would have a difficult time figuring out how to go about the process. Bethesda omitted those options from the game for seemingly no reason. If you're interested to change the ini files, I made a video, you find it in my list here. Fallout ini tweak mod guide, disable the data field blurriness and adjust FOV for the PC version. So you find it in my channel, so please check it out if you're interested in this. After exploring the map, the size of which is one of the game's few positives, the gameplay would consist of mostly building your camp and controlling public workshops. The building mode is in the game, while aggravating at times, does work and is improved slightly from Fallout 4. Other players, from my experience, will have voice chat turned off and will ignore you after a wave. After 20 hours of leaving my microphone on, in hopes that I would make a lasting connection with someone, I decided to turn it off so I could listen to an audiobook without having to worry about others at all. Yeah, mostly people don't like to talk actually in games so much. Or they like to talk then on a Discord server or some TeamSpeak server. All of the good things in Fallout 76 can be better found in Fallout 4, and basically this game is Fallout 4, strived with its substantial story elements combined with the restriction of multiplayer game. His points are good, giving the game 3, but it's his personal decision. It's not for me to judge this, but he had some points. So my friends, I think after going through all those reviews, we found out a little bit better what are the issues with Fallout 76. There's some stuff is missing. So okay, the storyline and the main storyline, the NPCs, I doubt we're going to see them. That's a point I have to agree. That's missing. As always, I don't like the fact that we have to tweak the ini files instead of to change option graphics. There, and yeah, And the multiplayer aspect is not so multiplayer than it should be. But on the other hand, it's also nicely a cooperative experience. And the world is huge, and it feels like Fallout 4. For me, it's like it's like a complementary version for Fallout 4. So therefore, I'm not angry. I'm not angry on this. So I think it's a decent Fallout game, and I enjoy playing it. And I also recommend you to take a look at it. So you get also cheap keys, like for 35 euros on the internet. So if you like to get it for a good price, and then you enjoy the game if you like Fallout in general. But don't expect a fully functioning Fallout 5. It's not a Fallout 5, it's a Fallout 76. So that's the point, my friend. So, alright, look at this nice pop-up here. And then we're going to see so much red and zeros, and people go crazy. People are crazy in the sense. So I would say, my friends, I'm leaving it here. I wish you a wonderful weekend and enjoy Fallout 76 if you have it, or play something else as always. So have a wonderful, great day. See you, bye.